Practice and homework, lesson 3.10. Patterns with decimals. Write a rule for the sequence, then find the unknown term. Number 1, we have numbers 2.6, 3.92, 5.24, 6.56, and 7.88. Now it wants us to think. 2.6 plus what is equal to 3.92? What number do I have to add to get to this number? And then, likewise, 3.92 plus what will give us 5.24. And we compare them. And what I like to do is I like to get 3.92, which is the number I want to get to, 92, subtract it from 2.6, then I get 2 minus 0 is 2, 9 minus 6 is 3, 3 minus 2 is 1, and I get 1.32. I'm going to do the same thing for 5.24. 5.24 minus 3.92. 4 minus 2, well, that's just 2. 2 minus 9, well, I can't do that. Got to regroup. 12 minus 9 is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. 1.32. And we see that each time we're adding 1.32 plus 1.32 plus 1.32. Number 2, 25.7, 24.1, 20.9, 19.3. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to try and figure out what number we have to add to get to 24.1, or in this case, subtract. And what number do we have to subtract to get from 20.9 to 19.3? So it's 25.7 minus a number is going to give me 24.1. Now, I can also think of it like this. 24.1 plus a number is going to give me 25.7. And then now this problem is exactly like this one. So we're going to subtract 25.7 by 24.1. 7 minus 1 is 6. 5 minus 4 is 1. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So we get 1.6. Now we subtracted 25.7 by 1.6 to get to 24.1. Now let's do the same thing for 20.9 and 19.3. So what number do I need to add to 19.3 to get to 20.9? We want to figure that out. We're just going to subtract 20.9 and 19.3. Well, 9 minus 3 is 6. Can't do 0 minus 9, so we're going to regroup. Now we have 10 minus 9, which is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. And we have 1.6, the same that we had over here. Now it wants us to find this missing number. And so we have 24.1. Now we're going to have to subtract. So this is a minus 1.6. And same over here. So we're going to subtract 1.6 from 24.1. So 24.1 minus 1.6. Like so. Can't subtract 1 from 6. We're going to regroup. 3. That gives us 11 minus 6, which is 5. 3 minus 1, that's 2. 2 minus 0, that's just 2. 22.5 is our answer. And the rule is subtract 1.6. Write the first 4 terms of the sequence. Number 3. The rule is start at 17.3 and add 0.9. So we have 17.3. We're adding 0.9. We just got to add. 9 plus 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So our first term would be 18.2. Now after that, we're going to add 0.9 again. That's our rule. 9 plus 2 is 11. Carry the 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. 1 plus 0 is just 1. Our next number is 19.1. Now we're going to add 9.9 to that. So we have 0.9. 1 plus 9 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 9 is also 10. So we're going to carry the 1 again. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we have 20.0. 20.0. Now 20.0 plus 0.9. 0 plus 9 is just 9. 0 plus 0 is 0. And 2 plus 0 is just 2. So our last number in the sequence is 20.9. Number 4. The rule is start at 28.6 and subtract 3.1. Okay, well, I'm going to start up here. 28.6 minus 3.1. 6 minus 1 is 5. 8 minus 3 is also 5. 2 minus 0 is just 2. Our first number is 25.5. Now, 25.5 minus 3.1. 5 minus 1 is 4. 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 minus 0 is just 2. So our next number is 22.4. Now, 22.4 minus 3.1. Well, 4 minus 1 is 3. 2 minus 3 is just 1. And 2 minus 0 is just 2. So our next number is 21.3. The last number, 21.3 minus 3.1. 3 minus 1 is 2. Can't subtract 1 minus 3, so we're going to regroup. This is 1 and 11. 11 minus 3, that's 8. And 1 minus 0 is 1. So our last number is 18.2. This is our sequence. Problem solving, real world. Number 5. The Rite store rents bicycles. The cost is $8.50 for 1 hour, $13.65 for 2 hours, $18.80 for 3 hours, and $23.95 for 4 hours. If the pattern continues, how much will it cost Nate to rent a bike for 6 hours? Well, we want to find the pattern. First, I want to find the difference between the 1 hour and the 2 hour rates. So if 1 hour it's 8.5 and 2 hours 13.65, if I want to find the difference, I'm going to subtract 13.65 and 8.5. So 5 minus 0 is just 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. Can't subtract, so we're going to regroup. 13 minus 8 is 5. So the difference between 1 hour and 2 hours is 5.15. I added $5.15 to 8.5 to get to 13.65. Now, if I want to see if this rule is the same throughout the entire question, I'm going to add 5.15 to 13.65. And if the rule is the same, I will get 18.8 plus 5.15. We're going to add these two. 5 plus 5 is 10. 6 plus 1 is 7. Plus another 1 is 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. And 1 plus 0 is just 1. So I have 18.8, which is our second hour. Now we want to get to 6 hours. Well, we know for 4 hours is 23.95. So we're going to have to add 15.5 two times. So first we're going to add 23.95 plus 5.15. 5 plus 5 is 10. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. And 2 plus 0 is just 2. So for 5 hours, the rate is 29.10. Now, if I want to get to 6 hours, I'm gonna have to add 5.15 again. So 0 plus 5 is just 5. 1 plus 1 is 2. 9 plus 5 is 14. 2 plus 1 is 3. And so this is how much it cost for 6 hours. 6 hours. So it's 34 and 25 cents. $34.25 for 6 hours. Number 6. Lynn walks dogs every day to earn money. The fees she charges per month are one dog is $40, two dogs is $37.25 each, three dogs is $34.5 each, and four dogs is $31.75 each. A pet store wants her to walk 8 dogs. If the pattern continues, how much will Lynn charge to walk each of the 8 dogs? Well, first I want to find the difference between one dog and two dogs. So I'm going to do 40 minus 37.25. And I'm going to add in the extra zeros here. So if I want to do 0 minus 5, we can't do that. I'm going to borrow from our neighbor, but our neighbor doesn't have anything. So he's going to borrow from his neighbor, and his neighbor doesn't have anything. And essentially, we're just going to regroup all the way over here. This is going to become 9, 9, and 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 7 is 2. 3 minus 3 is 0. So she's reducing her prices by $2.75 for every dog. Now, if 4 dogs is 31.75, she wants to know how much 8 dogs is going to cost. Well, that's just a 4 dog difference. So if we do 2.75 times 4, 4 times 5 is 20. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 2 is 30. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 3 is 11. So that's $11. That's $11 for the next 4 dogs. And so we're going to subtract 11 from 31.75 to get our rate for 8 dogs. 31.75 minus 11. 5 minus 0 is 5. 7 minus 0 is 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. So our rate would be $20.75 for 8 dogs. For 8 dogs. Number 7. Write math. Give an example of a rule describing the pattern for a sequence. Then write the terms of the sequence for your rule. You ran 1 mile on day 1, 1.25 miles on day 2, and 1.5 on day 3. How many did you run on day 5? Well, we see that the rate from 1 mile to 1.25 miles is just plus 0.25 miles. Now, from day 2 to day 3, it's another plus 0.25 miles. So we want to find how many we ran on day 5. We would have to add 0.25 plus 1.5, which would give us day 4, and then add again 0.25, which would give us day 5. Lesson check. Number 1. A store has a sale on books. The price is $17.55 for one book, $16.70 each for 2 books, $15.85 for 3 books, and $15 each for 4 books. If the pattern continues, how much per book will it cost to buy 7 books? We first want to find the difference between $17.55 and $16.70 so we can find the pattern. 17.55 and 16.70. 5 minus 0 is 5. And we can't do 5 minus 7, so we're going to regroup. It becomes 6 and 15. 15 minus 7 is 8. 16 minus 16 is just 0. So we get 0.85, which is our pattern. We are subtracting by 0.85 for every additional book that we're buying. So if we want to find out how much it costs for 7 books, we could take this price for 4 books and subtract it 3 more times. So 15 minus 0.85 would give us, we're going to have to regroup this to 14 9, then 10. 10 minus 5 is just 5. 9 minus 8 is 1. It becomes 14.15. This is for 5 books. This is for 5 books. Subtract 0.85 for 6 books. 5 minus 5 is 0. Can't do 1 minus 8, so we're going to regroup. This becomes 3, and this becomes 11. 11 minus 8 is 3, and then 13 minus 0 is just 13. This becomes the price for 6 books. 6 books. Let me write that again. 6 books. Now for 7 books, we got 13.5 minus 0.85. So we're going to have to regroup from this one. Get 4, and then we get 10. 10 minus 5 is just 5. We can't subtract 4 from 8, so we're going to regroup this to 2. Get 14 minus 8, which is 6. And we got 12 minus 0. That's just 12.65. And so how much per book will it cost to buy 7 books? That's $12.65. Like so. Number 2. A bowling alley offers special weekly bowling rates. The weekly rates are 5 games for $15, 6 games for $17.55, 7 games for $20.10, and 8 games for $22.65. If the pattern continues, how much will it cost to bowl 10 games a week? Or 10 games in a week? So first we got to figure out the rate. So 15 and 75, 17.55. So we're going to subtract 17.55 and 15. 55, 5 minus 0 is just 5. 5 minus 0 is 5 again. 7 minus 5 is 2, and 1 minus 1 is just 0. So the rates are changing by 12.55, and they're actually increasing by 2.55. I'm sorry, 2.55. Now, if we keep this up, we're on game 8, so we have to do it 2 more times to get to game 10. So 22.65 plus 2.55. 5 plus 5 is 10. Then 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. And then drop down to 2. It's 25.20 for 7 games. Now for 8 games, we're going to have to add 2.55 again. 0 plus 5 is just 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7 again. And then drop down to 2. So we get $27.75 for 10 games in 1 week. Our review. Find the product. So we have 284 times 36. I'm going to write this on the side just so it's a little bit bigger. Alright, so since we're multiplying, 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 8 is 48. 48 plus 2 is 50. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. Now for the tens place, I'm going to put an X in the ones place. 4 times 3 is 12. So before we do that, I'm going to erase these numbers. 4 times 3 is 12. 2, carry the 1. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 2 is 8. Drop the 4. Drop the 2. 5 plus 7 is 12. 8 plus 1, that's 10. So this would be 10,224. Number 4. At a sale, a shoe store sold 8 pairs of shoes for a total of $256. Each pair cost the same amount. What was the price of each pair of shoes? So if we have $256 and 8 pairs of shoes, if we want to find how much one pair of shoe costs, we're going to have to divide 256 by 8. So if we do that, how many times does 8 fit into 2? Well, 0. How many times does 8 fit into 25? Well, 3 times. 8 times 3 is 24. 5 minus 4 is 1. 2 minus 2 is 0. Drop down to 6, we get 16. How many times does 8 fit into 16? 2 times. So we get $32 for one pair of shoes. Number 5. Marcy jogged 0.8 miles on Wednesday and 0.9 miles on Thursday. How far did she jog in the 2 days? So looking for the total distance, and if we want to do that, we're just going to add 0.8 plus 0.9. And we add those two, that's going to give 9 plus 8 is 17. Carry the 1. And this 1 is just going to drop down here, and it's 1.7 miles. Number 6. Bob has 5.5 cups of flour, and he uses 3.75 cups of flour. How much flour does Bob have left? Have left tells me subtract. We're going to subtract. So 5.5 minus 3.75. I can't subtract 0 minus 5, so I'm going to regroup. I get 4 and 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. Can't subtract 4 and 7, so I'm going to regroup again. I get 14 minus 7, which is just 7. And 4 minus 3 is 1. So we're left with 1.75 cups of flour. 1.75 cups of flour.